me go over what we're looking at this week. We're going to finish up matrices. Quiz 4 this week. That'll be the final matrices quiz. And we can move on to our last unit of the year. So that sounds good, doesn't it? Last unit of the year. So let me put my camera up and I'll just give you a nice summary of what we're looking at. We're looking this week at using matrices to represent the systems of equations. We've learned how to solve systems of equations earlier in math by substitution, by elimination, but you can also use matrices to do this. So let me put this up on the screen and I will show you what we're looking at. This won't take very long. I'm not going to keep you a long time this morning, but let's look at a couple of systems of equations. You're trying to solve this for x, y, and z, trying to solve this for x, y, and z. But we can take this and set this up as matrices and use that to solve that. Now, here's a nice thing. We're not going to solve these. We're just showing you how to set them up. You already know how to multiply matrices. We've been studying that the last few weeks. So we're not going to go through that process. We're just going through setting it up. So we have an x, a y, and a z as our three variables. So we're going to take these equations and set them up as matrices A. So x is 2, y is -3, and z is a 1. All right, so let's go to the second line. 4, 6, -3. And then x, y, and z are all 1, 1, 1, 1. So there's our matrices A right there. And B, I guess I should use the proper notation, right? We'll use these big brackets. 2, -7, and 11. So we take this right here as B, and the equations make up A. And then this is a 3 by 3. This is a 3 by 1. You can multiply those together because these numbers are the same. They're both 3s. So that means we can multiply those together, and we'll end up with a 3 by 1, because that's the last numbers. A good arrow there. We end up with a 3 by 1 when we multiply them together. And that would give us our solution for x, y, and z when you did that. X, y, and z would be those numbers when you multiply those together. So let's try another one. Like I say, we're not going to go ahead and solve that. That's an earlier lesson. We're just learning how to represent systems of equations. So here we have an x and a z. We have an x, y, and z. We have a y and a z. So obviously we're still dealing with three variables. So A is going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. Just like it was in the last one, 3 by 3. And then B will still be a 3 by 1. So this first line, what's x? X is 4. What is y? Y is missing, so it is 0 and 1. That's the tricky part. If you have three variables, you still need to put the coefficient for all three variables. Y has the coefficient of 0 in the first one. Then we have 2, -4, and 6. And then here we just have y and z. So x has a coefficient of 0, 3, and -4. We have -11. We have 2. We have 7. It's not a good 11 there. I'll make it like that. There we go. So that would be the matrices that represent this system of equations. And again, we can multiply them together, 3 by 3. And we'd end up with a 3 by 1 when we multiply those together. So that's what this week's lessons are. Watch the videos. They go into some good description, give you some extra clues and hints in there. And then you can buzz through quiz 4 rather easily than if you just understand and pay attention to the missing variables in the equation. Don't forget that coefficient is 0. So that's it. A nice, short, sweet, simple lesson this week. Finish up quiz 4, and we'll be ready to go into our last unit. Seniors, you don't have many weeks left. Well, we have like 3 or 4. The finals for this class for seniors will be like the 10th or the 11th, whatever that Monday or Tuesday is. I got to get the schedule for sure. But we're getting down to the end for the seniors, and for the rest of y'all, we're almost to the end. We'll get there. So All right. If you don't have any questions, I'll let you go. If you do have questions, hang around.
Let's get out of here. Word to your multiples. Math, baby. We're learning math, baby.